Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday to every one of you, or to all of you rather. Thank you for spending your evening with us. So please let me know po if clear po ba ako on your end. Type C sa chat box and type U naman po if unclear. I'll check your feedback. Okay, thank you so much for your feedback. But before we start, let me just introduce myself. I am Manat Pangatungan, Visayas Business Development and Market Education Officer of First Metro Securities. It is the stock brokerage arm of the Metro Bank Group. And our company is dedicated to promote financial literacy and create awareness on investment opportunities to empower individuals and institutions attain their financial goals. And we envision to be the largest and most trusted Philippine investment solutions partner. It is my honor and pleasure to serve as your host this evening. So just like this event, we used to conduct our sessions on-site and face-to-face. However, due to pandemic, we shifted to a webinar format. So we are glad we are continuously invited by private institutions, academic institutions, and even public institutions. That is on top of our monthly webinars that we conduct here in First Metro Securities. So it's really amazing how technology enables us to add value wherever you are located. So let me check po, saan po ba kayo currently tuning in or watching our webinar? I'll check the chat box. So I am from Cebu. Anyone here from Cebu as well? Ayun, meron tayo from Davao. Another one from Cebu as well. Maayong gabi kanimo diha. CDO, Qatar, Bulacan, Ilocos Norte. So we have from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and outside the Philippines. Yan. So kahit saang sulok man ng mundo, pwede pa rin kayong makasali sa mga webinar series natin. So last year, we have conducted a total of around 614 na talks from basic personal finance to investment, even market outlook and updates. So we were able to reach out to over 50,000 na audience. That's what we want to continue to do this year as well. So to start this webinar, allow me to ask some questions. First one, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word bonds? Kindly type it in the chat box. Ano ba yung unang nasa isip nyo pag naririnig nyo yung word na bonds? Income? Fixed income? Yun. Good. Safer than stocks? Most of the answer is fixed income. Long-term or long-term investment. Debt capital, pautang, yan. So later we will have this discussion in depth. So let's have another question. Kindly show the first poll. On the scale or on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being no idea and 5 being a bond expert, how would you rate your current understanding of bond investment? So we have here 1 to 5 na options. So let's see the answers from our attendees. Okay, let's just give few seconds lang. Ay, 25 seconds. Almost half na ng mga attendees natin yung nag-answer. Majority answered 3. So parang balansa lang, no? But we still have 4 or about 10 attendees who answered 1 and 2. So later, we will enhance your understanding in bonds. Okay, let's show the result. There. Majority, 45% answered 3. Oh, we have 2 attendees who answered 5 as well. Moving on to the next poll. Have you invested in bonds? Yes or no? Kindly show the next poll. Have you invested in bonds? Yes or no? Tingnan natin kung majority ba ang nag-invest na or meron pa ding hindi pa. Ooh, okay, let's end the poll. So result, about 55% answered no. But we still have 45 who answered yes. So whether you are already an existing bond investor or are considering becoming one, this webinar is perfect for you. So for your questions, please write them on the Q&A section of the platform and we will try to answer as many as we can. So for tonight, we are honored to have Mr. Peter Anthony Bautista. He is a seasoned financial professional with extensive experience in the banking and investment sector. Currently, he serves as the Senior Vice President and Department Head Syndication at First Metro Investment Corporation. He has been with First Metro since March 2004. And prior to this, he worked at BPI Bank Assurance Inc. as a relationship manager and team leader. He also held roles at BPI Capital Corporation as a fixed income sales and trading dealer and at Ayala BPI or at Ayala Bank Assurance Group as a corporate marketing manager. Mr. Bautista's educational background includes a Bachelor of Science in Applied Math, majoring in actuarial science and statistics from De La Salle University. He also pursued graduate studies and master's in business administration, major in marketing from the same university, and later took units and masters in applied business economics at the University of Asia and the Pacific in 2011. His extensive experience in the financial industry includes roles in sales and marketing, where he has been recognized for his contributions to the development of the Philippine capital market. Let's all welcome Mr. Peter Anthony Bautista. Good evening, Sir Peter.
Good evening, Monette. Good evening. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Hi. Am I coming in clear?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Oh, let me
Great.
just
Great.
stop sharing my
Great.
screen. Okay,
Thank you,
so the
Monette, for
first
such a
question is
lengthy
yours.
introduction. Maraming salamat for the lengthy introduction. Guys, it doesn't sound as impressive as she said it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. First off, I'd like to welcome everybody. Welcome to Bonds 101, guys. I saw from the poll how many people have actually bought a bond. And vis-a-vis that, I've seen how many are still interested in buying their first bond. Hopefully, after this evening, we'll get you to that journey already. We'll get you there. Wait, Manette, let me know if I've been able to share well. Is it good? Okay. Is it
Yes. Okay
okay?
na, sir.
Great, great. Guys, so as advertised, this is Bonds 101. Hopefully I get to cross the guys who have not bought anything vis-a-vis the guys who have already experience in buying a fixed income instrument. So tama. The poll that Monette showed you will ask of you guys to answer. Great. That's fixed income. Coupons. It's long term. It's fixed income. I think there are questions though if it's tradable. There are questions on the tenor, on how long it is. Hopefully after this we will get through it. Guys, I'm as Monette pointed out, I've been in sales for a spell. I've been a trader for a spell. Have experience in fixed income and equities. So I'll try to go across all those things and hopefully be very very anecdotal. Okay. Guys, hindi ko style na My style is really to share experiences and hopefully the learning comes from there. Okay, so this evening rather, we'll go through the financial markets. I think you have to go through the basics before we get to the securities. We'll need to talk about, and of course, just any good salesman, guys. Anybody who sells you anything will have to not just tell you what the benefits are, but of course, we'll have to discuss the risks with you. Okay. And finally, I will wrap it all up with my little tips. Hopefully, as an investor, not just in fixed income, but also applicable for your equity investments or even in your mutual fund investments. Okay? What are financial markets? Okay, financial markets for everything that's written on this page is fairly simple. It's really just a marketplace. a financial market is where you buy, sell paper that's issued or securities that's issued. The reason for financial markets is, if we go down each check mark, capital raising, you have companies that need money, they sometimes issue bonds. You have the government who needs funding outside from taxes, they use government securities, they issue bonds, they issue bills. So price discovery, we had a question earlier on whether it is tradable or not. It is tradable. Bonds are tradable, and you have a financial market, that place where it will show you what the price is, and of course, where you will actually deal it. Okay? Risk management, sometimes people buy too many pesos, they need dollars. Capital markets is a place for it. Too much stocks, you want to hedge yourself against that risk, you go fixed income. Too much peso, too much dollars. So that's the purpose of the financial markets. So it's income generation. I saw some of your comments verge on one side of fixed income of bonds. That's basically coupon payments. You earn interest, but aside from earning interest in the financial markets, just like when you buy stocks, you can trade bonds, so you can make money off bonds. On the flip side, we can also lose a little bit of our capital if it's not the right time. Okay, there's the efficient allocation of capital. You don't put everything in one basket. Not everything is in equities. Sometimes we get to diversify. This is for both you as an investor and issuers. Yung mga companies, they get to mix and match their sources of funds also. And finally, a good financial market is an indicator of how well the country is doing. It's a healthy stock market is good. It's a good sign it's a good sign for investors, for the outside of the Philippines to see that, okay sa Pilipinas mag-invest. It's good for foreign counterparts that actually think of diversifying. Also, your bond market is also a healthy gauge of how good capital flows. Madali bang humiram, madali bang mag-issue ng papel. So that's part of the reason why there's a financial market. That said, just wanted to share my little tidbit also. Your equity market trades what? 4 billion, 5 billion on any given day. On the average, 4 billion. Bad days, less than that. Good days, we reach what? 8, 9. The fixed income market, government securities specifically, the trading sometimes 20, 30 billion a day. On a good day, goes 40, goes 50. I think on the best day ever, it reached 100 billion in one day. So that's how liquid this particular market is. Okay, when we talk about the financial markets, guys, there's so many markets involved. Okay, there's the capital market, money markets, forex, derivatives. But for this afternoon's purpose, we're just going to talk about the capital markets. Yung nakabilog lang dyan, yung nakacircle lang dyan. Capital markets, in particular, they deal with instruments that are long-term in nature. Okay. When we say long-term, this is further classified into either debt or equity. Guys, sorry, I hope you don't mind. I'm trying to be a little more, sige, for lack of a better term, binibilisan ko siya kasi medyo, alam ko boring yung topic ko, guys. So, your capital market is split between the debt market and the equity market. So when we talk about debt instruments, dyan napapasok yung bonds, dyan napapasok yung notes, commercial papers, and loans. And I think where most of you are right now, you're in the equity side. You're an equity investor. So we're talking about common shares. If you're not yet into preferred shares, those are also instrument types that you could come into or go into. And hopefully it's something that First Metrosec can help you somewhere down your investment journey. Okay? But this portion, bonds, notes, commercial paper, CPs, or loans, this is the fixed income market, and that's what we're going to focus on this evening. Stock market, I'm pretty sure you're good with that already. And if ever you want to learn more, there are separate discussions or separate briefings that Monette can arrange for you guys. Okay? When we talk about the capital markets, there's another definition for it's another subclass for it, and it really depends on the at the time of the life of the particular instrument we're talking about. A primary market transaction versus a secondary market transaction rather. So when we talk about primary market, it's the first owner, it's the first investor, it's the name of the guy who bought the bond, who bought the IPO, who bought the stock on day one after it's listed or as soon as it's listed. So this is the new security that you have the privilege of being the first investor of. Okay? When you start moving it from from Monet to myself to Mr. Ordonez to anybody, to the next owner, so that's a secondary market transaction. Okay? Okay. Before we go into the actual security, the actual instruments, let's just go into what a security is. Okay. A security, technically, this is the technical description, is a fungible, negotiable financial instrument. Let's put a definition to it. Fungible, yung naka-underline lang, tignan natin. Fungible, meaning a 5-year bond of a particular security type is the same whether you buy 500, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million. Kahit they're all generic. Okay? So theoretically, you can accumulate 50 million at a time, 50,000 at a time. And it's the same thing. What really changes is how you acquire it, meaning the price that you acquire it at. Just like your stock. Your stocks are fungible instruments. A common share of Ayala Corp is the same as when you buy it today, yesterday, the day after tomorrow. So it's all the same. Okay? A financial instrument, it has economic value. Okay? And again, just going through the technical definition, it's either ownership, it's either debt or a creditor relationship, or for the more mature markets, it's right to ownership. Yung mga derivative instruments, this is what that one will entail. Again, could be a separate seminar for you guys, but tonight let's just focus on Bonds 101. Okay. So specifically, we're talking about debt. So as mentioned earlier, you saw my list earlier. We're talking about bonds, we're talking about deposits, we're talking about notes. So as our friend earlier who answered the survey, who answered in the chat box that Monet pointed you to earlier, it is you getting interest. Okay? It is you getting your principal at the end of a period, of a particular period. It has a maturity. Okay? It's for a fixed term. So you can either buy a bond that's 3 years, 5 years, 7, 10. The longest I think I've ever sold is 25. In other more mature markets, we're talking about 50s. But here in the Philippines, I think the longest I've seen is a 25. So yun ang pinakamahaba niyong pwedeng bilhin. Okay? The last item here is it may be collateralized or unsecured. Sometimes in the past, rather, more specifically in the past, because the creditors were not that good or the borrowers were not that good or the issuers, they had to be covered by collateral. Kunyari, it had to be covered by land. It had to be covered by machinery, for instance. But more and more nowadays, the bond issuances that you will be able to participate in are normally clean, zero collateral. The other instruments, as you already know, as we've already mentioned, you have equities and hybrid instruments, which, as I said, will be seminars for another day. Bahala na sa inyo si Monet. Okay? The types of debt instruments are fairly simple, guys. Dalawa lang yan. It depends on the issuer. Okay? We're talking about two main kinds of securities, the government security and a corporate issue or a corporate bond. As the name implies, a government security, the issuer is government. Okay? More often than not, ang nag-i-issue ng government securities is the Bureau of Treasury. That is a regular borrowing. That is the most common of all government securities. What's really interesting with a government security is it is free of the risk of default, meaning hindi ho malulugi ang gobyerno. A little bit of trivia for you guys. The Philippines has never defaulted on its peso obligations. Okay, for one, the Philippines can always generate cash. You can always generate pesos. Or diba, for flip and or on some level, you can actually print pesos. So it has never defaulted on peso obligations ever. And considering it is the most risk-free and the most regular of the issuances and the biggest also, they're very tradable. They're very easy to buy, easy to sell. No, easy to buy, easy to sell, and very tradable. A lot of people will naturally look for government securities. As mentioned, on any given day, we're talking about a 20, 30 billion trading volume on any given day. And personally, the biggest trade that I know of a single institution or a one-time big time 5 billion. Isang trade, isang transaction. It moves that much. Okay? It moves that often in one day. Okay? The second type of debt security is what is more, how do I say this, financially rewarding in terms of coupon, in terms of interest, and that is the corporate bond. Okay, and again, as the name implies, a corporate bond is issued by a company. It is issued by the likes of an Ayala Corporation or a Boitis, or issued by an SM or a Philinvest. Later on, I will show you specific examples of the government securities and corporate bonds. Some of the terms, and I will show you the pricing or the interest basically that they were issued at, if not the rates that you can buy them at right now. Okay, the real difference between a government security and a corporate bond is that your government security is backed up by the government. So it's whether it's the Bureau of Treasury issuing it or the BSP issuing it, there is either a direct or indirect guarantee from the government that hindi to magde-default. In the past, there were issuances by the NFA, the National Food Authority, by the Home Development Mutual Fund, HDM, Pag-ibig. So in the past, but more recently, the issuances have been limited to the BTR. Okay, in that absence of risk of default is what separates a corporate bond and a government security. Okay, Ayala Corporation, SM, despite how good the credit is, they are not government. Okay, there will always be the chance that there will be difficulty in settling obligations. Whether it is probable or not is not the issue. The mere fact that they are corporations, that they have lifespans, they have real lifespans. Unlike government, there is a chance of a failure or difficulty to settle. Okay, and that's what makes it more rewarding for an investor like yourself to buy a corporate bond. Okay, mas mataas po ang rate ng corporate bonds because you have to factor in that little, we call it a spread, that little spread that differentiates it from government. Ang government hindi nalulugi, ang corporation kahit na gaano kaganda, there is always that possibility. But not that it will happen, but it just differentiates that particular instrument. Okay, your government securities, samot-sari yan guys, okay? Your government securities, you can buy treasury bills or treasury notes or retail treasury bonds. Okay? Your treasury bills, for instance, initially when they're offered to the market, they're either just 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. That's how the original tenor is, or the original maturity date or maturity life of a particular treasury. However, does not mean that you cannot buy a 71-day treasury bill or a 172 day treasury bill. Okay, guys, nagmamature siya. So umiiksi siya. So from the original 364 days or 182 or 91, there could be instances that they're available in the market na mas maiksi na. Okay, and that's depending on who you call, depending on the institution that you reach out to. So that's where your bank relationships, your brokers will come in. They will look for those for you. Your treasury bill is the short-term instrument, And government also has its long instruments, and that's your fixed rate treasury notes, or they're called FXTNs, or they're called T bonds or treasury bonds. So those are interchangeable terms. These instruments naman are issued as long as 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, original tenors, as long as 25 years. As mentioned, that was the longest I ever participated in. And I think that's the approval that the government has to issue 25 years. Okay, the real difference between a treasury bill and a treasury note or an FXTN. When you buy a treasury bill, um, you pay, for instance, you want to buy 1,000,000 pesos of a treasury bill. You don't pay 1,000,000 pesos. You pay for it at a discount. So for instance, 1,000,000 pesos of a treasury bill, your capital outlay, yung bayad nyo po, is for instance, for 1,000,000, 995,000. For instance lang, for example. So that means when the paper matures or when the treasury bill matures, the treasury bill that you bought at a discount, when it matures, 91 days down the road, you will get your 1 million back. So ang kinita po natin is the 5,000. Okay? So you pay for it at a discount. Ang FXTN po, your fixed rate treasury note, is interest bearing. So if we're talking about a 2-year bond, 2-year, okay, please note, there's a 2-year there. So that means every 6 months, you will be getting a particular interest rate. That's what they call, or I saw it in the chat box. It's called a coupon po. So every 6 months, you will be getting a coupon, and that will be net of tax, of course. That particular coupon will be there, will for you every 6 months until the bond matures, or the example, 2 years. If you buy a 5-year bond, so that means 10 times ka makakatanggap. If you're talking about a 20-year bond, we're talking about, so it's really just multiplying it by the number of coupon payments. When you buy a particular fixed rate treasury note on day one, normally it is at par. That means you buy 1,000,000, you pay 1,000,000. Okay? But if you buy it at a discount or at a premium, that means you buy 1,000,000, you pay at 1,001,000, for instance, or 1,010,000. That's bought at a premium. Okay? It all depends on when you participate in a particular issuance. A treasury bill, when you buy it, agad yun, discounted. A treasury bond, when you buy it on issue date, you normally get it at par. If it's the first time it's issued, if it's initial issuance, you get it at par. That means you get it at 1,000,000, you pay 1,000,000, you buy 1,000,000, you pay 1,000,000. When you buy it in the secondary market, or when you buy it as a reissuance, that means you could either be paying for a little extra, or what you call a premium, or at a discount, a little lower. So minsan 1,000,000 po ang bayad natin, that's at par. If it's at a premium, it's 1,000,001. If it's at a discount, 99. Ganun po ang ano. That's how it's normally priced. And then what you have probably been able to buy if you've been ordering online through First Metrosec, the retail treasury bond. The retail treasury bond is a treasury bond for all intents and purposes, but the real reason it was created by government was for you, for retail, for Juan de la Cruz like us. The minimum outlay for a treasury bill, a treasury note, is dependent on the bank you're buying it at. But for a RTB, the minimum is 5,000 pesos. So kaya siya retail treasury bond. It's really meant to be taken in by investors like ours. The issuances, they vary also. Meron 3 years, may 5, may 7, 10. That said, you can also get RTBs that are shorter than 2, shorter than 5, or in between 3 and 5, in between 5 and 7. So umiiksi po siya. So may chances po na umiiksi po yung bond na makikita niyo po sa secondary market. And similar to FXTNs, they are interest-bearing. That's where the second difference is of an RTB. And where an FXTN pays every 6 months, an RTB pays every quarter. So quarterly po tayo nakakuha ng ating interest na kikitain po natin. Oh, good? Okay. Your corporate issuance, on the other hand, is pretty much similar. It's pretty similar rather to a treasury note. It's similar to an RTB, a retail treasury bond. Recently, issuances can be as short as 2 years, 5 years, 7. I've seen a 20. Okay, it's the same tenor. It's the same structure, guys. Um, there are corporate bonds that will give you coupons every quarter. There are corporate bonds that give you coupons every 6 months. Iba-iba po siya. It all depends. So whenever somebody offers you anything, please check what the coupon payment schedule is, or the coupon frequency, or the regularity. Also, unlike government where it's risk-free, it's covered by the national government, by the ROP. This corporate bonds may be secured or unsecured, as mentioned earlier, but recently, lahat po yan unsecured, lahat po yan clean. And the reason for this is most of the issuers are all AAA. Okay, Ayala is AAA, Aboitiz is AAA, SM is AAA. So all of those are really, really good credits. You don't really ask them to set aside assets so that in the event that they can't pay. So they're really clean, they're really good. One more thing that the government, I said AAA earlier, sorry, I went ahead of myself. One of the things na ginawa ho ng gobyerno for us, for Juan de la Cruz like us, is they required corporate bonds to be rated. Okay? So that meron pong, if iba-iba ho yung appreciation po natin, what a good issuer is or a good bond is, ang ginawa po ni government, they required all corporate bonds to be rated. I will show you the rating later. So whether it's a AAA, AA, single A, B, so on and so forth. So that will immediately tell you how good the bond is. Okay? Corporate notes, unfortunately, are the province of institutional investors. One, the size of corporate notes are usually run in the millions. And it's normally limited to 19 lenders. So that said, we're talking about 5 billion pesos divided by 19. So ganun kalaki yung outlay for a corporate note. But for your appreciation, I just had to tell you, sure, there is such an instrument. So mamaya pag nag-dinner kayo, mga kwento nyo yan sa mga dinner nyo, merong corporate notes pala. There is also such an instrument as a promissory note. We have issuers, there are corporates out there that issue promissory. It's an IOU. It's not a bond in the sense that it's not tradable. It's not a bond in the sense that it's listed on any exchange. It's a promissory. It's a company telling you or a bank telling you, I promise to pay. It's an IOU, simple po. I promise to pay you in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, so on and so forth. In 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, X amount every 3 months, every 6 months for the money that you lend me. Okay? The real difference is it's more structured like a loan. It's not tradable. It's not listed, but it is something that you can participate in. The promissory notes that we've had the experience of offering, sometimes nasa 5 million, sometimes nasa 10 million. But I would assume that some of our attendees tonight are may have requirements of this particular instrument. Okay. I mentioned earlier also that there's such a thing, such an animal as a rating agency. Okay, so these are the institutions that have no relationship with the issuer whatsoever, and their real purpose, ang katanging purpose lang niya sa buhay is mag-rate ng borrower. Okay? Mag-rate ng issuer. Okay? What you will see here, this table, so these are the list of companies that actually perform the ratings. Yung pong Standard & Poor's, S&P, Moody's, Fitch, those are for the dollar issuances, and they're normally international issuances. Ang ni-rate po niyan, mga companies na countries normally, and companies na may international debt, may dollar debt. We're talking about, in this particular case, mga peso issuers, we are limited to Phil ratings, yung naka-square po, or yung tinatawag nating credit ratings and investor service, CRISP. Okay, so these are the ratings you will see for peso instruments that you can buy in the Philippines. Okay, mentioned S&P, Moody's, Fitch. Ganito po yung rating nila. AAA, AA, triple B, so on and so forth. Yun pong fill ratings natin. When you look at the ratings, so STCP is short for short-term commercial paper. Commercial papers are similar to bonds. It's just that they're 1 year and below. Okay? Your corporate bonds, just like what we mentioned earlier for a treasury bond or an FXTN, is normally 2 years and up. Okay? The ratings that you will see for a corporate bond are either AAA, AA, triple B, single A, triple C, so on and so forth. STCPs, the 1 year and below, PRS1 to PRS6, PRS1 being the highest. So these things are what you would normally hear from underwriters, from us, from banks, as to what a particular, how a particular issuer is rated po. Okay. Not that I want to convince you to just buy a bond after. It would be nice though, but I need to tell you why you can buy bonds. Para saan ho ba to? It's fixed income. Okay? For the guys who want to set aside money and want to receive coupons or interest regularly over a particular period, you buy a bond. It's a fixed income. There are regular coupon payments. As I mentioned earlier, it's either a 6-month interval or a 3-month interval. Actually, if I recall correctly, there was a particular bank bond. Oh, banks also issue corporate bonds, but since they're banks, we call them bank bonds, not corporate bonds. Okay, these there was one particular bank bond who paid monthly. Sakit ng ulo siya, but monthly yung bayad nun. So, depende sa structure talaga. But right now, what you will normally see in the market is a 6-month interval or a 3-month interval. Fixed income, bullet payment, meaning at the end of 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, kung ano yung tenor ng bond mo, pag tama ng maturity date niya, you will already receive your principal and your last coupon payment. Okay? So think of it the way you would think your equities. So ito yung dividends mo. Okay? But again, since we're talking about a loan, we're talking about debt, it's called interest. Okay? Your trading gains, as mentioned earlier also, a bond is tradable. Hindi siya buy and hold. I don't buy a 20-year bond and hold it forever or hold it until 20 years has passed. You have the opportunity to trade it. You just call your fixed income broker, you ask for the price in the market at that point, and then they will show you a quote. If it's acceptable to you, you may trade it. Just each bank has their own way of trading the process. I mean, so please reach out to your broker, or in our case, please reach out to Monette and our customer service team. And you take profit when rates go down. And if you really need the cash, and if you really are willing to take the price even when rates go up, you can take a hit. You can sell it. So just like in equities, you take a hit if the rates are when the market's against you. So, but whatever is quoted you, it's still an option to sell, guys. Hindi porke tumaas yung rates or bumaba yung rates, magbebenta na kayo. It's still just an option to sell. Whether you want to take profit or whether you need the funds, it's still an option to sell. So there is no it's just really available to you when needed, if needed. Okay. That said, I have to just go through the risks with you. Okay. Wag ho kayong bibili ng papel na hindi nyo naintindihan. Okay. When you buy appliances, you read the manual. You know what it's all about, diba? So the same thing with investments. Don't just buy anything because sabi nila mataas yung interest rate. Okay? So you have to understand the risk. And in the same way, any salesperson should tell you what the risks are. So risk is basically the chance na either hindi mo makuha yung pera mo, hindi mo makuha yung interest, or hindi mo siya matrade. Okay? Let us not bother ourselves with the math behind this. But if the math is if we're looking at the math, please reach out to Monette and we can always talk about the math. Okay? All right. Risk reward trade-off. Meaning lang po, I just have to go through this with you also. the more risky an investment is, the higher the risk, the higher the interest, or higher the opportunity to get. Sample, government securities are less risky. A corporate bond, because of the inherent possibility of default or closure, is more risky. Kaya mas mataas ang interest rate ng bond, ng corporate bond. A one-year paper is less risky compared to a five-year paper. That's why the rate of a five-year paper is higher than a one-year paper. Okay? So that's the logic behind risk and reward. So, no risk, no reward. You just earn, diba? Either you put it in government securities, pinakamababa, but still invested, or you want to shoot for the higher interest-bearing paper out there, corporate bond, pwede po yun. So it all depends on your appetite for risk po. So don't avoid risks. Make sure you understand them para magamit po natin in our favor. So the risks po available, well, that you are subject to, market risk, tumataas at bumababa ang interest rate. Gaya ho nung nangyari kayo ng umaga. There was news of a BSP cut possibly in April. So bababa ho yung rates. So there's that risk po na by the time that you decide to buy, by the time April 10 happens, bumaba na po yung rates. So there's that risk. Or on the flip side, umakyat po yung rates dahil sa nagkaroon ng gera somewhere in the Middle East. Naapektuhan ho tayo kasi trading partner natin ng Middle East. Rates went up, interest rates went up. So that's market risk po. Liquidity risk on the other hand, it just means pag gusto niyo na pong magbenta, walang gustong bumili. I saw a question earlier from our audience, from you guys, from one of you guys, on tradability. Government securities are more tradable on nearly any given day. On every day, you can find somebody who's willing to buy government securities. A bank or an end user, an institution, may bibili niyan. Ang tanong lang is kung gusto niyo yung presyo. Okay? But the same is not does not hold true for corporate bonds. Ang corporate bonds po, because mas maliit ang issuance, mas konti po yung bumibili niyan. And because kaya ho kayo bumibili ng corporate bond dahil sa interest po niya, mas konti yung nagtitrade. Di ba? And because konti yung nagtitrade and because institutions know or buyers know that there is a inherent need for you to sell, medyo hindi ho maganda yung minsan mas mataas so yung presyong hinihingi o mababa yung presyong hinihingi nila or mataas yung interest na hinihingi nila, yung yield na tinatawag nila. So that kind of hurts po. So that said, there are opportunities to sell. It just may not be at the price that you're willing to hit, but if you need to, may chances po. Okay, interest rate risk, again, similar to market risk, especially for bonds. It's the same pretty much when rates change. Yun po kasing market risk can also apply to equities, and it's not really we're talking about prices for market there. It basically affects the entire market. So risks like the interest rate risk, it really just affects yung taas at baba ng interest. Your market could be more systemic in nature. Kunyari nag-earthquake, diba? So that's a market risk. So I think that the real way to approach any risk is to understand. So to be very nimble, to be very in touch with the market, in touch with what's happening. Kasama yan sa tips ko mamaya. So I'll tell you one of the tips to address that. Also, there is credit risk, meaning hindi ho makabayad yung binili natin. So government securities, never gonna happen. For some companies, also never gonna happen. But there will be issuances out there that you may see this. I think these are the ones that are not AAA. Ito yung mga lower than BBB, single B. The way to address this particular default is please make sure you know what you're buying. Alam niyo po yung negosyo nila, alam niyo po yung nangyayari sa merkado, and alam niyo po na yung taas ng interest rate na nakikita niyo, may katapat po yun. And it's normally credit-related po. Okay, inflation risk. So basically, your inflation risk is our inflation is higher than your interest rate, is higher than your return. Last month's inflation, if I'm not mistaken, Moneth, correct me if I'm wrong, 2.1. Diba? 2.1 yung February inflation natin. at 2.1. So that means anything you buy now is better than inflation. Theoretically. Okay? Theoretically. Before tax. Okay? So it's that simple. Diba? It's that simple. What yield or interest that you're making should give you better than inflation. A better return than inflation. That said, there are days, there are months or years that inflation is higher. That's where the problem is. Okay? So that's where the trick is, getting it at a good rate and churning it and trading it. Diba? And this holds true not just for not just for bonds, not just for fixed income. Ultimo yung mga binibili niyo pong stocks eh. Diba? Theoretically, you buy a stock, you trade it, you have a return. Dapat yung pagtitrade nyo should beat inflation. It's that simple. Okay? So that means you trade more often, mas mabilis ka mag-churn, di ba? So that could also apply to fixed income, guys. Okay, I think this is my last risk. It's called the call risk, meaning, okay, ang mga corporations po na mga yan, nag-i-issue ng bonds, they all know that at some point, there could be an opportunity for them to exit. Meaning, bumaba yung interest rate. Meaning, mas mahal to keep the bond alive than reissue again. Diba? So some of them will call. So it's called a pre-termination or a prepayment. So when these companies exercise their call, that means kayo po, who used to earn interest of 5%, will now be faced in a market na 4% lang kikitain nyo. Okay? Or 3% or 2.5%. So that said, the way to avoid this is to trade. Diba? Trade ho kayo ng mas maaga. Diba? When you know it's going to be called and the opportunity to buy is not there, trade out of it. Magbenta na po kayo. Or, like some of my issuers, some of the issuances that we have, meron po siyang reissuance or meron siyang next tranche or meron siyang new issuance that will cover or capture the maturity or will capture the call. Pasok ko kayo agad. Diba? So that it may be at a lower rate, but you already have an outlet. Guys, one of the tips I will leave you later is always be invested. Guys, mahirap kumita. I'm sure everybody, how many of you? All 65 of you and so will appreciate this. Mahirap kumita. So pakitain niyo yung pera. Okay, make sure you're always invested either in a time deposit, a money market instrument, in a fixed income instrument. Guys, sayang ang kita ng pera. Kinita niyo siya. Okay? Okay, as promised earlier, these are the rates of the securities available to you right now. So your 31-day treasury bill, ang offer, ang titingnan po natin dyan, offer. Okay? Ang offer po, yan po yung rate or yung presyo o yung yield na pwede nyo po siyang bilhin. 4.9% po yan. This is in percentage. In percentage points. Percentages rather. When you want to sell, you will be able to find a buyer at 5%. Ganun po yung tingin dyan. Okay? You want a 93-day paper, you can buy it at 484. Bilig sabihin yan, pangit doon nagbebenta ng 93 days. Mas mabuti pang bumili ng 31 kesa sa 93. Diba? Nakikita niyo po yung interplay eh. Okay. Your 24.89-year paper, they call it a 25-12. Yung po yung series niya sa government. Yung 25-year paper, 25-12, will give you a yield of 634. Okay? Let's go back to our slide on risk reward. So, mas risky si 25-year paper. That's why the yield of a 25 is higher than a 31-day paper, the 492. Wag na nating tignan po yung 93. Ibig sabihin niyang pangit yung nagpapakita ng offer. Like I said, guys, the prices in the bond market fluctuate. It all depends on who's offering it to you at the time. So, nung time na po na ito, nung kinuha ko po ito, pangit po yung presyo na nagpapakita sa akin ng 93 days. Or the 359 days, mas mababa ho yung rate niya kesa sa 177 days. So if I were you, if I were to advise you, 177 days over 359. It's less risky because it's shorter and it gives me better coupons. Cool? Okay. There's an RTB po dyan. So ayan po, ang RTB na 2 years to go. as mentioned, does not need to be a 5-year RTB. Some of them, dahil malapit na siya mag-mature, mas maiksi na lang po siya. 5.8 po yung tinatawag nating RTB 5-15. Originally 5 years, 2 years to go. I will not expect you to remember these things. And first of all, nagbabago po siya araw-araw. So what you will do is you reach out to Monet, you reach out to our customer service, you reach out to our fixed income team so that they can apprise you of prices. And for that matter, if you already have banks that you buy it from, ask them. Yeah. They should be able to show you these, but of course, you have the convenience of Monet and everybody else in the First Metrosec team. Okay, corporate bond. Last few slides, corporate bond. This is SM Prime, the most recent of the bonds that we issued. Please note there are 3 tenors. There's a 3-year, a 6-year, and a 10-year. Our 3-year is at 6%, priced at 6%. Balik tayo dun sa kanina. Ang 3 years kanina is 5.8. Diba? 5.8 na 3 years versus a 6-year versus a 6% na 3 years. Okay? Danny, thank you for raising your hand. I will let Manette handle the Q&A. Promise, may Q&A to after. Alam ko marami ako sinasabi, but there will be a Q&A after. I will give time for a Q&A. There was a 6-year tranche. Please look at the 6 years. It was at 621. Ang 6-year comparable, ayan, let's say 6%, diba? Ang 5 years is around 6%. So meron konting tinaas ang corporate bond versus a government security. Okay, ang 10-year 647, ang 10-year na government 6.2 lang. So yan po nagbabago. That changes on a day-to-day yung government securities. But this particular SMPH bond that I'm showing you is a new instrument, was new. We listed it just last February 25. So my tip sa inyo is habulin niyo po yung issue date. Habulin niyo po yung offer period. That's the best time to come in for a corporate bond nang walang additional cost to you. Okay, the other type of bond that we recently issued was an FLI bond. Just to show you the differences in prices, the 10-year FLI bond was at 683. The 10-year SM Prime is at 647. In a matter of how many days? In a matter of a week, the difference between an FLI and SM Prime is around 40 basis, 0.4 po ang difference nila. So, depende ho yan sa panahon na pinresyo siya, depende ho yan sa credit. Both of them are AAA, SM Prime and FLI are AAA, but just wanted to emphasize that the bigger credit or the bigger institution is SM, which is why the FLI, despite it being AAA, required a little more extra for it to get to its when it finalized its rate. Okay, where to buy? Okay, dyan yung sinasabi ko po siya, what primary issuance, kapag bago po yung papel, there is what you call an offer period. You can approach your underwriters, like FMIC, First Metro. Or you can approach your official selling agents and unofficial selling agents, like First Metro Securities. For equities, I think you guys are familiar with this. For equities, you approach your trading participants, just like First Metro Securities. Or in some issuances, you can buy it online. Again, just talk to Monet because that's also available in our app, in our platform. So it's very convenient for you buyers nowadays on participating in issuances. Secondary market transactions, meaning from investor 1 to investor 2, so on and so forth, and so forth. You talk to a fixed income broker, which Monet is, our company is also for Metro Securities. And for equities, as you already know, you approach a trading participant for it. Okay, this is my last 2 slides, I think. Minimum lot for primary issuances, depende po yan sa issuances. Meron pong RTB po, 5,000 I mentioned. Meron pong corporate bond na 30, may corporate bond na 50. Yun po ang prescribed by the structure of the bond. or yun po yung offering ng bond talaga. May minimum po siya. For secondary market transactions, please talk to your broker because depende po yan sa institution how much you can buy a minimum of a bond is. Meron pong 5,000, meron pong 10,000. Okay? But also, regardless of what the minimum is of that bank, please also consider that depende po yan sa availability. Just like in stocks, the availability of the instrument will determine what you can buy on any given day. And finally, last thing to remember, may commissions po ang pagbili. Theoretically, for a primary issuance, is what I'm telling you, what I told you earlier, that is no commissions po ang primary issuance. Kapag initial offering po ng corporate bond or a government or a RTB, wala pong com yan. We don't charge or underwriters don't charge, selling agents shouldn't charge. Okay? For secondary market transactions, meaning na-list na po siya, na-offer na po siya sa market, A, B, C, investor, owner, yan po, nagbabago po yung commission per broker. I suggest, please reach out to your friendly fixed income broker. Excuse me. And let me just finalize this little long discussion with you, or what I shared with you, with a few tips. Guys, pag mag-i-invest kayo, whether it is my bond or the bond, whether it is an equity instrument, always remember why you're buying it. Is it you're buying for capital appreciation? Maybe biling kayo 5 years down the road. Always remember what you buy and itatama nyo po yung bibilin nyo, the instrument, with your own requirements, with the reason for buying, for your investing. 2, news po. Guys, you gotta keep in the know. Okay? You wanna be invested, you wanna be in the market, read. I am a trader by profession, by training, and the first thing we do in the market is read in the morning rather, is read the news. Over the day, we read news. Over lunch, dinner, so on and so forth. You get the idea. Bago kami matulog, news, Bloomberg, Reuters. So that keeps you updated. It also allows you, nakita nyo opportunity. Hindi lang yung threats eh. What's good about being updated is you see the opportunities and the threats at the same time. Okay? Also, another piece of advice, establish and follow your buy and sell levels. Whether you buy a bond, whether you buy a stock, guys, alam nyo kailan kayo pumasok. Alam nyo kung anong tamang time pumasok, tamang presyong pumasok. Always keep your exit strategy in mind. Okay? Hindi pwedeng bili lang ng bili. Dapat alam nyo kailan kayo lalabas. Dapat alam nyo kung tatapusin ko yung 10 years, 20 years, X number of years. Or kapag sumipa ang rates, bili pa ako? Or kapag bumagsak yung market, benta na ako? Okay. So that's what I'm saying. You have to know your buy and sell levels. Diba? Like I said, mahal, pinaghirapan natin yung pera. Let's just exert a little effort in making sure sulit, not sakto yung kinikita natin sa pera pinaghirapan natin. Always understand what you're buying. Huwag kayong bibili ng hindi nyo naintindihang negosyo, hindi nyo kilalang kumpanya. Huwag kayong maakit. Don't be tempted to come in because the rates are high. I showed you the interest rates right now. We're talking about 6%, 6.5%. Somebody shows you at 10%, magduda kayo. Think about it. Okay, think about it. Twice, and check and research why the rate is like that. I've shown you what the market rate is. You know it in your mind. This is where the safest is. Figure out why it's so attractive, not so attractive. It's so tempting. Okay, knowing what you're getting yourself into is already being a mature investor. Okay? And last but not the least, the market is never wrong, guys. Your traders always have charts, always have history, whatever, diba? Guys, I'm telling you, if the market is selling and you don't have the pise, you don't have the bala to wait for it to tide it over, benta kayo. Okay? The market is never wrong. The market will never listen to you guys. It never listened to me. It will never listen to the market. It has its own mind. So when it's time to sell, despite what your charts say, what your chismis says, what the Diario says, what the newspaper say, sell or buy. Okay? The market is never wrong. Okay? With all of these, I think that that's it for my spiel. I will turn it over to Monette for the Q&A. And again, pasensya po nahabaan ko kayo ng konti sa kinuwento ko, pero appreciate po you listening. Thank you, thank you. Over to you, Monette.
Thank you, Sir Peter. Let me just reshare po my screen. Hold on for a bit. Hey. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your expertise, Sir Peter. So we started po with the financial market definition, capital market, securities, and as well as the risk involved in investing in bonds. And I have seen a lot of questions where to invest bonds ba. So of course, you can invest in bonds through First Metro Securities. For those who still don't have an account, later I'll show to you how you can open a First Metro Sec account. So first thing that you need to do, you must have a one powerful investment account that is First Metro Securities. So your one-stop shop for your all of investment needs from stocks, REITs, ETF, mutual fund, UITF, and as well as bonds. And aside from being a powerful investment account, you make sure you partner with the best. We are grateful to our clients as we are awarded as the best one-stop shop solutions aside from being the best online broker and best online trading platform for 7 years in a row now. So for those who still don't have a First Metro Sec account, here's how convenient and easy it is to open a First Metro Sec account. You can download the First Metro Sec Go app or open via our website. Just visit www.firstmetrosec.com.ph. You need to accomplish all the forms and then upload the required documents, including the government-issued ID, tax identification number, proof of residence, proof of bank account, and your 1,000 pesos initial deposit. So just don't forget to indicate the seminar code fixed income when asked, where did you know about us? So once you have an activated First Metro Sec account, you can invest in government and corporate bonds. So if you avail retail treasury bond or retail dollar bond, this will be through the Bureau of the Treasury na online order facility. Just go at www.treasury.gov.ph and select First Metro Sec as the settlement bank. And then you click agree to the terms and conditions. So you will be directed to the First Metro Sec login page. So sign in and check the amount that you need to pay and confirm. So you will receive a confirmation through email. So this is only applicable during the initial offering period. For the corporate bond, reservation is through submission of the intent form that you will receive through email. So usually the subject there is bond alert. So the details include issuer, the term, the minimum amount, the interest payment, indicative rate, and then bond rating, and as well as the purpose of the bond. So on the deadline of the intent form, ensure that your First Metro Sec account is funded. So once you receive a notice of confirmed allocation for your both either government or corporate bond, so this will reflect under the bonds tab on your portfolio. So should you be interested as well to buy bonds in the secondary market, so later no, please indicate your email address in the feedback form so we can provide you the daily bond offerings, since as of now this is not yet available in our platform. The same also with the treasury bills. And feel free to connect with us on social media channels such as our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Spotify. And our main website is www.firstmetrosec.com.ph. And for any account requests, inquiries, access, concerns, or any updates, just email customer service at firstmetrosec.com.ph. And I would like to invite you to our next webinar series. If you've got questions about stocks, investing, or even on the market, now's your chance to ask in the next webinar. So as a bonus for those who register, you can submit your burning questions in advance in the comment section. So our team will tackle them live during our webinar. So you'll get the insight you need to boost for your stock market game. So don't miss out this valuable opportunity to gain insights on your market journey. Register and secure your spot. You just need to check the link at the First Metro Sec platform in the announcement or in the email invitation sent by our marketing team. and master the market with confidence, ready to take your investing skills to the next level, you can join our Guided Investor Fearless Trader webinar series and gain expert insight on making smarter trades and investment decisions. So this is led by our first MetroSec market consultant, Sir Aaron. So this series is designed to help you navigate the market with clarity, strategy, and confidence. So this will start on March 31, 2025. The topic includes fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and building your own trading system. So the registration link will be provided by our chat moderator through the chat box. And lastly, for customized, gamified, award-winning market education programs, exclusively designed for your company, school, or organization, just send us a formal invite at marketeducation@firstmetrosec.com.ph. And at this juncture, may I once again call our speaker, Sir Peter, to turn on his mic and camera as we accommodate questions now from our
Hi
live
guys.
viewers. We have a lot of questions. So hi again, Sir Peter, for the first
Go ahead.
question. Where are the treasury bills
Okay.
auction po?
Excuse me. The Bureau of Treasury auctions them every week. So normally normally Mondays unless holiday yung Monday. It's conducted online. It's actually on their Facebook site, which I don't think you can access right now. Alam ko down yung site nila. But Facebook, sorry, it's on Facebook rather. They normally show the auction during the week, during Mondays. Pag ino-auction nila. Okay, your treasury bills are auctioned on Mondays and your treasury bonds are auctioned on Tuesdays, both of which are live. You can see it on their Facebook page or Facebook on their Facebook page. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Sir Peter. Next question from the anonymous attendee. What is the effect of the fluctuating interest rates and RRR set by the BSP on the price of bonds and stocks?
Oh, okay. Wow, nice question. Good question. Okay. Simula tayo sa triple R. Okay, triple R, just the reduction. Okay, the change in the BSP is triple R for the banks. That means they just have more money to play with. They have more money to lend out rather. So theoretically, the more money in the system, diba, the more that particular cash will need to find the home. So ang indirect impact ng triple R cut is bababa ang interest rates. There's more money in the system, so that means the more people will need to place it, the more rates will probably go down. The biggest buyers of government securities, which is the basis of most loans, are banks kasi. So these are the guys that normally participate in auctions. So baba ang rates. That's on the price of funds. So pag bumaba ang rates, inverse po yung relationship. Pag bumaba ang interest rate, tumataas ang presyo ng bond. On stocks, again, barring any other thing that happens during that triple R cut, bababa ang interest rate, mas maganda yung mga loans ng mga listed companies, mas maganda yung returns niya, mas maganda yung chances na mag-dividends, mas maganda yung binabayaran niya, mas maganda yung performance, 'di ba? So those are the impacts of the triple R cut. Should be good for interest rates, bababa interest rates, should be good for equities kasi bababa yung cost din nila. So should be good for the market. Overall, triple R is one way of improving market liquidity and the possible performance of the companies listed on the exchange. Next
Thank
question,
you for
Will.
that, Sir
Yeah.
Peter. Next question. What are the advantages of investing in bonds against MP2?
Okay. I would assume that when you refer to MP2, we're talking about the Pag-ibig MP2.
Yes.
Okay. So if we're talking about MP2, guys, I think that the real difference is you're talking about a tradable instrument. Okay? Rate notwithstanding. I think the rate of an MP2 is good. But the fact that it's not tradable makes it a little, diba? Kaya mataas ang rate eh. Instruments that are less tradable, less liquid, or not tradable at all should really command a higher rate. Kasi wala kayong exit eh. Diba? So I would think again only because I've not really participated in MP2 yet. The fact that it is you are lending your money at for a longer period at a chance na hindi mo siya pwedeng mailabas agad. That's why the rate's higher. So my suggestion is if you have access to MP2, not bad to put something in MP2, but if you're talking about money you can set aside longer, put something in GS, put something here. Guys, there's always the saying na don't put all your eggs in one basket. Ang tanong how many eggs you can put, di ba? But that said, good to diversify. If you have access to MP2, good. If you have access to bonds, good as well. Hope that
And
answers.
yes, thank you for that, Sir Peter. And just to add, there is a maximum amount if you invest in
There you go.
MP2 that is 10 million. However, if it's in bonds, it's unlimited. You can go
Oh,
for
it's a if we're talking about bonds, it's a question of the supply, 'di ba? When you can, 'di ba? Where you can buy it, 'di ba? Minsan, guys, I told you, I've seen retail investors invest in X amount. That's beyond an MP2 amount. Thanks, Manette.
Okay, next question, Sir Peter. How will one know if the bond price has already reached its peak price or it's reversing price trends? May reference po ba?
Okay. Truth be told, okay, truth be told, just like in equities, I think the chart just gives you a guide. In fixed income, there's really no such thing. But there's really also I will tell you after in my 20 sige, more than 20 years of trading, you really don't get the high all the time or the low all the time. Minsan swertihan yan eh. Minsan you get it at the best at the time. It always is it's relative eh. Sometimes you get it at the best rate on the day, on the week, on the month, but something happens. Remember, the prices of your equities, the prices of your bonds are affected by market forces. So that what happens this week may not happen next week, and then what happens next week is not something we forecast. So it really is it's not easy to predict. The trajectory you can, diba? At least yung trajectory. But if it stops at the high or it stops at the low, I'm afraid that one is not an easy task. So, but that said, you at least know the trajectory. And even for equities, I know even for equities, to hit it at the high is not an easy thing. Or at the low is not an easy thing. Minsan swertihan, but ride the trend, read the market, read your news. Thanks, Manette.
Okay, next question, Sir Peter. Can T-bills be pre-terminated or are there any penalties?
They're not pre-terminated in the sense that you would pre-terminate a time deposit. They're sold back. They're sold. Okay. So when you buy a treasury bill, you also have the option to sell it. Please note, remember my table kanina, meron kang bid, may offer. So the bid is where you sell it at. Pwede mo siyang ibenta. And however, it changes on a day-to-day. It changes on a, actually, iba yung presyo niya ng 9 o'clock sa 10 o'clock. Para siyang stock, guys. Anything tradable, especially if an instrument is liquid, you will end up seeing the price move up, down, so on and so forth. Diba? So pwede siya. The answer is you can trade out of it.
Thank you for that, Sir Peter. Next question. Primary issuance of corporate bonds in First Metrosec are offered with indicative rates only, and usually the final rate is much lower than the indicative rates. Why are these corporate bonds not offered in First Metrosec after the interest rate has been finalized?
Offered indicative and the final rate is much lower. Okay. This is the reason why the rate. Let's tackle why it's lower. Guys, I mentioned this. The rates fluctuate. So minsan the fluctuation of the rates will end up at the low, and yung basis ng benchmark is lower. That's why the rates are lower. And unfortunately, that's part of the market forces. Yun yung market risk natin we're talking about interest rate, the market risk. That's it. That is not offered. You can buy it. I think Monette pointed it out. You can talk to them for your secondary market transactions. It's not being offered. Right now, kasi wala pa pong online na there is no online access to bond trading yet. So the way to buy secondary market instrument is you email Monette, you email customer service, our fixed income team, and we will do our best to look for the security for you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Peter. So for those interested in the secondary market, don't forget to answer our survey feedback form later and then indicate your email address so that we can send you our bond offering every day.
Mm.
Sir,
Okay.
bird's eye view how to trade bonds po.
Okay. All right. Okay. How to trade bonds? Buy, buy low, sell high. No, okay. I told you inversion ang relationship nila. The lower the rate is, the higher the price. The higher the rate, the lower, diba? The higher the rate, the lower the price. So, when you want to buy a bond, the rates have to be high. The secondary market rate has to be high. If you want to sell it, that bumaba siya. So, people start selling bonds kapag may rate cut. Diba? Kapag may triple R cut, kapag maganda yung GDP. This is the reason why I told you, if you remember, I advised, keep on reading the news. Because good news is normally good economic news. GDP is within budget, inflation is within budget. Good news, bumababa ang rates. Okay, so those are the best times to sell. The best times to buy, just like in equities, is kapag pangit ang balita. Diba? When there is volatility, diba? Pag pangit ang GDP, on the converse, pangit ang GDP, pangit ang inflation, pangit ang, diba? The numbers are bad, nag-rate hike instead of a rate cut, that's when you buy. Diba? When the volatility is there, that is an opportunity to acquire. That's an opportunity to accumulate. When there is no volatility, when there is just good news, in short, steady state lang tayo, or diba, sakto lang yung market, tumenta na kayo. Diba? That's the time you, and it applies to both bonds and equity. Same concept. The only difference is may rate kang iniisip, but when you get through your that logic, pag baliktad ang rate sa ang price, I'm sure you'll do well. Again, please reach out to Monette and the rest of the team on a day-to-day if you need help with that.
Another question po, Sir Peter. Bonds have 20%. How about T-bills and FXTNs?
Meron din po. Meron din po. Kasi nakapasok na po yun sa ang coupon po ng FXTN or ng Treasury bonds, less 20% din po. Remember, it's the government issuing also. So less 20% din po siya. Ang Treasury bill po, yung computation po niya ng discount, it's also there. It's already factored in also.
Next question, are there minimum investment capital to buy T-bills and FXTNs?
Okay. My answer there is, as so much as the market is concerned, First Metrosec is concerned, we will work on your volume as long as it's available in the market. I think we can do as low as, if I'm not mistaken, we can do as low as 50,000 or less. But please check na lang with Monette. But there are institutions, especially for primary market, especially for primary RTB, 5,000 ang minimum. Yun guaranteed, 5,000 ang minimum. And the supply for that one, especially if you buy it from First Metro Securities, is 100% guaranteed na makukuha niyo. As long as you order during the offer period where it's the window still open, 5,000 pesos, 5,000, okay, para kung commercial, 5,000 pesos lang, masisimulan nyo na yung bond portfolio ninyo. Yeah. A corporate bond, on the other hand, the minimum is determined by the structure. May 30, may 50, may 100, depende sa structure. So that one, you just have to check what the minimum is for that particular bond. If you note, sa SM Prime, meron 50, may 30. So SM Prime versus FLI. So it varies per issuance.
Yes. To add lang po, the treasury bill, it's 10,000
there
and
you go.
then for corporate bonds, it's 50,000 or depende din sa minimum investment required.
There you go.
Next question, I plan on investing with bonds. However, I only plan on investing through bond funds as of now. Do bond funds fluctuate the same as regular bonds or are there different catalysts on its price appreciation?
Okay. You know why you buy a mutual fund. You buy a mutual fund because you want somebody else to manage it, 'di ba? Kasi wala tayong oras or experience na magbantay. And we want to make sure that magamit natin yung laki ng fund manager. Theoretically, your bond fund will flow the same way as a regular bond. The only difference is, since mas malaki siya, di ba? Kung ako, ang kaya ko lang bilhin ay 50,000. Yung bond fund na pinasok nyo, for instance, it's an Atram fund, a Sun Life fund, or a Manulife fund, all of which are on the app, by the way. Di ba? It follows the same rules. The only difference is, mas malaki yung asset, in total assets niya. So that means mas maganda yung rate na pwede niyang paglaruan. When they sell it, when they buy, when they sell, it's better for them because of sheer size. Okay? But also, part of the reason you buy a bond fund is because of the professional management. Dapat yung professional fund manager ninyo should be able to give you a steady state of returns. Diba? Hindi siya dapat bumagsak ng todo-todo or sumipa ng todo-todo. It should be steady regardless of when you enter it. Kaya nga tinitingnan nyo dyan, di ba, historical performance. They don't forecast eh. Di ba? It gives you historical performance because that gives you an idea how good your fund manager is. So yes, it follows the same rules, but your fund manager's objective is different. Diba? Their objective is to give you a rate of return that is consistent, if not predictable. So, but again, to your question, yes, same rules, but the job of the professional fund manager makes it different.
Thank you for that, Sir Peter. We'll just
Yeah.
take this last 3 questions. How much is the best offer rate before 50 bips reduction?
What does that? Wait, let me try to understand that. How much is the best offer rate before the 50 basis point? Are we talking about, if we're talking about the ano, if we're talking about a triple or a cut, if we're talking about a rate cut, okay, if we're talking about the rate cut, policy rate cut, the 50 basis points reduction, okay, my advice to you, okay, kung kaya ng tolerance natin, the best value is of course the riskiest paper. Diba? That said, I have seen retail investors buy 10-year paper. I have seen retail investors, on the other hand, defensive, more cautious, just buy 3-year paper or 5-year paper. That said, best value is up to you. Anong tolerance mo? Remember, if the rates go against you, if the market goes against you, what is the paper? What is that instrument that you are ready to hold until you are ready to let go, or the market allows you to let go? So that could be, for me, it could be a 5, or it could be a 6 or a 7 or a 10-year paper. Depende yan. Right now, ang mga presyo ng mga rates dyan is around 6, 610, 605. Ganun ang ano yan rates eh. So it's less the rate right now, and I think what instrument or how long you are capable of holding the paper, or ano yung tawag dyan, risk appetite mo. Hope that helps.
Thank you, Sir Peter. Next question. What would be the ideal portfolio allocation for someone with moderate risk appetite between bond, stocks, and similar funds?
Okay. Okay. I will sound like I'm not part of the organization. But okay. If you're talking about a portfolio, ang pinaka-aggressive na portfolio, natural yung mas maraming equity. Okay, that's the most aggressive. So we're talking about moderate risk. Ano, kasi ang pangit naman, 'di ba? Pagtatawanan niyo naman pag sinabi siya ang moderate risk, 50% fixed income, 50% ano. Because that sounds moderate. But I think a moderate risk, you can still add a little more equity. Guys, maybe the better way to look at it is, if you wanna be, sige, safe-ish, 60% fixed income, 40% equity. But your 60% fixed income, you put in a little corporate bond and you put in a little government security. 'Di ba? Baka doon natin biyakin. 'Di ba? Doon natin hatiin, 'di ba? 60% more on the fixed income side, but you put in a different flavor para hindi ka lahat GS. Kasi ang baba nun kung puro GS yun. So try to put in a little kicker in your portfolio. Personally, my own, what little I have stashed away, I think it's mostly mostly corporate bonds. So if I had sample 100,000 pesos, siguro 20% of that is GS. Diba? Assuming so 100,000 pesos. So 20,000 of that is GS and 80,000 is in corporate bonds. Kasi nandun yung ano eh. Kasi nandun yung kicker, nandun yung mas mataas na rate. And at this stage, my appetite is leaning towards a 5-year, 7-year horizon. Kasi mukhang magre-retire na ako, mukhang na akong pa-retire, di ba? So that's why you're ready to look at a 5-year. Di ba? That's my limit. Di ba? Yun ang limit ko. So this different from for all of you. Depende sa where you are in your investment. Kaya kung bata ka pa, mas matanda ka, so it really changes, guys. Yes, Manette.
Thank you for that, Sir Peter. Last question. I think this is the chart on FI. Where can we see the chart of
Ay,
bonds?
Ay,
Is it available?
wala po siyang chart. There's you can check sa Bloomberg, 'di ba? You can check sa Bloomberg. There's a chart of the direction of the rates historically. You can do your, 'di ba? Stretch mo yung, 'di ba? Look at the chart, but the real chart no such thing. And like you said, it's normally limited to the Bloomberg guys or the guys with better Reuters access. So could be a little difficult po to provide you a chart.
Thank you for that, Sir Peter. So that sums up our Q&A portion. Thank you so much for all of your questions. And of course, thank you very much, Sir Peter, for gamely answering those questions. There. So if you still have questions after this session, you can book an online session. Just scan this QR code. So I will give you a few seconds to screenshot this. And then to our attendees, we also value your feedback. So you can share your thoughts and experiences with us by scanning the QR code and answer our feedback form. Link will also be provided by our chat moderator. Your input is essential to us in helping us improve our services and better meet your needs. So we appreciate your contribution and look forward to implementing positive changes based on your feedback. So again, thank you so much, Sir Peter, and we look forward to our next collaboration to continue serving the Filipino investors. And perhaps you have some parting words po for our audience before we formally close this event.
Okay. All right. Guys, thank you. Thank you for Monette. Also, to you, Monette. Thank you for the opportunity to share this with the guys. And to everybody who patiently listened to everything that I had to say. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Guys, always remember, know what you're buying, know why you're buying. Always, diba, keep the end in mind. Know why you're investing in something, what you're investing in. Always be in the market. Always read the news. Ang dami kong always, And at the end of the day, I hope to see everyone in the market. You worked hard for your money. Make your money work hard for you guys. Stay invested. Thanks, guys.
Hi, thank you so much, Sir Peter. So there you have it, guys. Once again, on behalf of First Metro Securities Brokerage Corporation, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Sir Peter of First Metro Investment Corporation for gracing us with his time and presence. It is truly an evening well spent. Thank you to everyone who attended tonight, and we sincerely hope you learned a lot and that these insights and lessons will make your investment journey not just more profitable, but also more enjoyable. Please don't forget to provide feedback for today's webinar, and we hope to see you again in our future learning events because over here at First Metro Securities, we put your future first. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you, Sir Peter. Bye po.